Ready for new day. 7 Bomar, YouTube channel called Understanding, said this: go into complete soulless solitude to reach your highest you. No more previous life or previous existence. Walk all the way up till you deeply bask in the glow of self, till your next mission comes. Bob Gallagher said, for 30 days, act toward the world with the attitude everybody you come in contact with the attitude which represents the kind of results you want to achieve. Act toward the world with the attitude everybody you come in contact with the attitude which represents the kind of results you want to achieve. Dr. Milton Mills. Protein and carbohydrate metabolism. Proteins become enzymes, hormones, or neurotransmitters. Excess protein converted into carbohydrate, amino groups, and sulfur are removed as waste products. Urea and sulfurous acid. Sulfurous acid. Both of which must be excreted by the kidney. Example: if you eat 50 grams of protein and only need 35, the rest will then turn into carbon backbone, which is carbohydrate, can be burned as energy, structure, cellular components, carbon backbones for amino acids, or stored in the form of glycogen, which is animal starch. If glycogen pools are full, then and only then will it go into fat cells. Our bodies don't turn carbs into fat because fat has more energy than carbs. So it has to put energy into the carbohydrate molecule in order to turn into fat. Requires a lot more energy, about 25%. Rather than doing that, the body will force you to burn the carbohydrate off. So when eating a lot of simple carbs, the body get a sugar rush because the body is trying to burn it off rather than storing it. Dr. Greger said, our body dumps about 90 grams of protein in our digestive tract, breaks it down and recycle amino acids. Where does that protein come from? Every day, the lining of our digestive tract is sloughed off and digested and reabsorbed. That's where it comes from. Our bodies can't store protein. Eating a lot of steak, meat, and high recycled protein, it does us no good. All protein that's not utilized for homeostatic purposes is stripped of its nitrogen and sulfur, converted into carbohydrates. Excess animal protein is so deleterious to our skeleton. It causes sulfur that's in animal protein. Because the sulfur that's in animal protein gets converted into sulfurous acid, not sulfuric, which would melt us. But sulfurous acid, so our body has to buffer the acid. It will dissolve phosphate from our bones to buffer that and neutralize it. So excess dietary animal protein is metabolized to acid, which causes calcium loss in urine and weakens bones, causing development of osteoporosis. High protein meat diets are associated with an elevated risk for kidney stones. Plant proteins are buffed by phosphate and therefore don't cause excess acid production or significant calcium loss when metabolized to carbohydrates, and haven't been shown to increase the risk of osteoporosis in women on a plant-based life, and women on a plant-based life have higher bone and mineral density before and after menopause versus women who eat anything with a heartbeat. Major determination of protein utilization: adequate protein intake. Recommended is 0.5, half a gram, to 0.8 per gram per kilogram a day. That's enough. If you take more, it's not utilized and comes out in the pee. Adequate energy intake. If you don't take enough energy, instead of using the protein for building tissue, our body will burn it for energy. Example, if trying to build a cabin in the woods in Alaska, but you didn't get enough wood for the room to fire the wood burning stove, are you going to use the little wood you have to finish the room, or keep the fire to stay alive? You would use it for energy to stay alive. Same with our bodies. Adequate intake of essential amino acids. Over a 24 to 48 hour period, strict protein complementing at each meal ain't necessary. Exercise regularly helps body utilize proteins more efficiently. If working out, do we need more protein? No, we need extra energy. At baseline, we already get twice enough protein anyway. Increase energy, increase protein. No protein drinks, because they are dairy-based, whey and casein powder. But if you really need a protein drink, use pea protein. If running a marathon, do you need energy or protein? You need more fat, and fat gives us extra energy to spare the protein to be used as protein. Fat or energy, plant-based, is coconut oil, avocado, healthy fats. Animals get protein from plants, so plant protein is best for all. People need increased protein if you are sick. When sick or after a bad accident, we need more protein. Proteins can't be burned as protein. It gets turned into carbohydrates. Animal protein is linked to heart disease, cancer, prostate, breast, colon, pancreas, diabetes, osteoporosis, Alzheimer's, dementia, high blood pressure, hypertension is high blood pressure, strokes, exacerbation, acceleration of kidney failure, kidney stones, dysentery, food-borne illness. Animal protein, both flesh and dairy, is a potent cancer promoter. In non-nursing humans, studies suggest, all these spiders, studies suggest putrefaction of animal protein in the human colon releases toxins that exacerbate ADHD and possibly mood and behavior disorders. The amino acid composition, God dang it, all these spiders. The amino acid composition of animal protein raises blood levels of homocysteine. Plant proteins don't raise homocysteine, or cysteine, not his cysteine. Homocysteine levels, plants don't raise homocysteine levels. Homocysteine has been shown to damage human blood vessels, increase risk for heart disease, stroke, Alzheimer's, osteoporosis, hurts bones and brain as well. When do animals get protein? When they are babies. Herbivores should only be exposed to animal protein during early infancy when they are rapidly growing. Animal protein is a potent growth signal to herbivores. If herbivores are exposed to animal protein during adulthood, it activates oncogenes that can stimulate abnormal growth. It can lead to tumor development and cancers, because as adults, our cells don't need to grow. So we don't need animal protein or dairy. It stimulates cancer cells. If someone uses too much propane to heat their home, it blows up. Same thing if we take too much protein, it stimulates cancer genes. Plant-based is the healthiest. Myths are can't get enough adequate protein on plant-based. Live it, not diet. Nothing dies. Plant proteins ain't complete. Calcium is too hard to get eating plant-based. These is myths, and it's too difficult to build muscle plant-based. Them all myths. Beef, pork, lamb causes cancer, heart disease than other animals like chicken and fish. Animal protein turns on growth genes called TOR genes and increases level of growth hormones in herbivores. TOR equals function as master regulatory genes for cell proliferation and growth. TOR stands for target of rapamycin, which was created when they started transplanting kidneys. They came up with rapamycin to prevent organ rejection. Found out it caused skin cancer to regress. And in the enzyme system, they realized it was the TOR genes. Do what you feel. Go with your flow. I'm a sponge. I soak in the good. I let out the bad. We gotta do what we gotta do.